Hi there, I'm Thomas, and welcome to the WaterJet support channel, dedicated to hydrogen technology. In today's episode, I'm going to carry out a test during which I'll test how the machine deals with non-metallic materials. These are materials of different density, thickness, and elasticity. On your right we have granite, marble, next is a carbon tile, here we have a porcelain tile. Here's some pretty thick plywood, and also glass. Here's somewhat thicker, here thinner. We have rubber, also a thicker and thinner version. And then plastics, in two thicknesses. This is PMMA, or plexiglass, and this is polyurethane. Mirror, mirror on the wall, and sponge. Here's a project of what I'll be cutting in each of the samples. It's a rectangle with one rounded corner and two openings in the middle, a round one and a square one. What will I pay attention to? I'll check the quality of the side edges, what they look like with every material, how the dimensions compare with the project. With the thicker materials, I'll check the top and bottom edge, what the dimensions are, and if the material doesn't crumble during the cutting, if it doesn't break, for example, the glass or the mirror. So let's start the test. We'll use the Maxi machine, where there are already primers for cutting brittle materials. If you're interested to see similar tests on other machines such as Protomax Global or Omax, let us know in the comments below and we'll show you those tests. The first set of materials is ready on the table. You've made a nice mosaic here. We need to fasten that here. Rafael, this is the first set of materials I'd like to cut. I'd like you to help me with that. The materials have been secured. Nothing is moving. It has been screwed down. That's what our project looks like on the computer. This layer is applied with a jet stream piercing the material from this side and still tear off the silver layer. This way we run the risk that we sand it in such a way it will be visible on the edge. We can also see the next set of samples on the table. Rafael, tell me, do you change the settings for every material, or do you just start cutting away? We can try to simply start cutting here, but there might be side effects. One thing we change is the kind of material we're cutting, and that's the only change through which the computer adapts the speed and other parameters to the material. Will you also set the thickness? Yes. Can you show where it is? There are the same steps in the settings. We set the material here and the thickness here. The samples have been cut. What happened I'll tell you later. Time for the last round. Samples on the table. And the result, ladies and gentlemen, the machine managed to cut every material. The only problem was with the carbon tile here. It turns out that it was layering during the piercing. This is quite a common problem with WaterJets. With multi-layered material, as the water pierces together with the abrasive, layers are formed that create this form of swelling. To reduce that problem, we install an additional accessory like this drill that drills a hole, after which the jet can cut. If you started from the outside of the material, there'll be no problem, but piercing it sometimes like this can happen. We place the other materials on top of each other to see if the sizes fit, and it looks like they do. I'll measure it in a moment. It's interesting that brittle materials were pierced at a lower pressure to avoid damaging the material. Thick glass, a beautiful surface. A square, a square. The quality of the other materials looks really good. All these samples were cut at the third quality level. Yes, the guys say that is a compromise between speed and the cutting quality. Even the thick material like this granite was clearly cut. Let's check the difference between the top and bottom edge. The top edge is 50.05 millimeters and the bottom one 49.86 millimeters. Good. Here I have two identical foam samples. One of them was cut with only water, the other one using garnet. As you can see, the sample cut with only water is a little torn, but overall it's okay. The mirror has been properly cut. The coating material isn't chipped. To sum up, with the WaterJet you can cut all kinds of non-metallic materials, from wood to all kinds of stone, foam, rubber. If you have any questions about which materials I should try to cut and to see the results, please leave a comment. For now, it's goodbye and see you in the next episode.